Here we go. Welcome, ladies, to Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday, Dawn and myself, today for this live Q&A session on everything about the 90-day I Kick Sugar Challenge. So this session is for you this morning if you've got questions about the challenge, or maybe you're just sitting on the fence wondering, is this right for me? Is this something I should be doing? Because, over the past few weeks, Dawn and I, we have been flooded with emails and questions about the challenge. We figured if we're getting this many questions from women privately, how many more are thinking the same thing, have got the same questions, and maybe they're just not submitting them or asking us, reaching out to us. So we figured we would let all of you know. So we're going to start today. I'm going to start by actually answering the top 5 most asked questions that we've gotten in. And then we're going to open it up to all of you who've joined us this morning, who have questions of your own, perhaps that we didn't answer, that you can put throughout this call today in the chat box. And then Dawn is going to be reading those questions back after we address the first top 5. All right, so without further ado, let's just jump right into these questions so you guys can gain some knowledge to make an informed decision here. So question number 1 that we've gotten is, what is the challenge? What's this 90-day challenge where you can win money? And they also are asking, in conjunction with that, how is the challenge, guidebook different from the IKS Coursebook that I have, or the audio book, or maybe the masterclass program that I'm already in? Okay, so if you have gone through the I Kick Sugar course, either through the audio book or my masterclass program, then you know that I instruct you at the very beginning not to change anything, as crazy as that sounds, in your food, okay? To work through all of the modules and tasks. And I designed it for you to do over a 21-day period. That's about 3+ modules a week. Now, if you're in the 8-week masterclass program, I advise you to go a little bit slower, take a little bit longer. Maybe that's 1 module a week, 1 to 2 modules a week, because there is actually more material in the masterclass program to go through and dive into, as well as there are extra bonus tasks that we need, or you need, to complete to be able to declare your sugar freedom. So bottom line though, either way you're going through the I Kick Sugar course, it is a self-paced course, so you decide your timeline, all right? However, in order to move on to the next module, it is crucial that you do all, and I mean all, of the tasks, okay? That's watching the movies, the videos, doing all your journal work and prompts. This is about getting to the root of your sugar addiction, right? To discover your why, right? Why are you turning to sugar and food to comfort you and fill those emotional needs up? Trust me, it is never about the sugar, right? It's deeper than that. And if we don't address these issues, all right, and dig deep, you're going to keep avoiding the real issue, all right? And you won't get to your power. And this course that I created, it's about self-love, right? It's about creating new habits and changing your language and your mindset, all right, to own your power so that you can kick sugar. We're working on building a foundation so that you never desire sugar again, right? So as I explained at the beginning of the course, as I said earlier, I don't want you worrying about your food, all right? I'm going to direct you in module 9, all right? That's when you're going to be invited to declare your day, right? Your sugar freedom. And then that is when you change your diet, right? So during the course, focus again on your why. You need to build that foundation first, okay, to understand everything, like about your body and your mind, and prepare yourself to know how to do this and to truly want to do this, okay? Otherwise, you're going to be relying on willpower, all right, to power you through this. All right. And that is what you have done 1,000 times before. How do I know? That's what I used to do. Right. And that's why every diet failed in the past. All right. Willpower is going to fail out. It's like any other muscle, it's going to fatigue. So my course is different because you're going to be starting to build that foundation so you understand exactly how sugar affects the body and how your body processes it. All right. And how you're going to learn why you turn to it emotionally and physically, right? And then you're going to learn how to read. You're going to become a sugar sleuth, and you're going to learn how to read food labels and identify sugars and be able to know what's healthy and what's not, right? And then you're going to learn about habits and those triggers of yours. And you're going to build this foundation. So when you get to module 9, okay, that is when I'm going to invite you to kick sugar, right? You come to this place where it's not that you can't have sugar, because that's what you all say now. I can't have sugar. It's not that you shouldn't have sugar. You shouldn't have sugar, right? It's not that. It's that you don't want sugar, right? That's a big distinction. And that is a much more powerful place to be standing, right? So there you are, all right? Picture this. You're going to be in module 9 and you've declared your day. You said, I don't want sugar. Now what? I get that a lot. Now what? How do you get through that sugar detox period that I talk about? And how do you start eating and living a healthy life and jumpstart your weight loss if that's your goal? Now, that is where the 90-day challenge comes in and how it is different from the I Kick Sugar course, okay? And it's the only program, all right, that not the 90-day challenge guidebook. It's about 86 plus pages. That is the only place where I ever discuss diet with you and about your food, all right? And where I talk about how you lose weight and shred fat, all right? And there is where I teach the exact method that I have been using myself personally for years to shred fat while nourishing my body, keeping it strong and healthy. And it's how I've maintained my weight all of these years, all right? 8 years being sugar-free. So if you're wanting and needing to kick sugar, to lose weight, to get healthy, no matter where you are in my course, if you're just starting out, maybe you just found me and you've got only my Sugar Sleuth toolkit, or maybe you're in my masterclass program already. You're one of my students there and you've already declared your day. This challenge is for you. All right. So hopefully that clarified the distinction between the two right there. All right. The second big question that we get all the time is, will the challenge diet, will it work for me? Because I've got, Joyce, I have certain dietary restrictions. Don't we all? All right. Or I have certain health complications that make it to where certain foods are off limits for me. Or they say, I know you're vegetarian, Joyce, that you don't eat meat. So are we going to not be able to eat meat for this challenge? All right. So if you're wondering any of these questions about diet, the answer is no. All right. That is the beauty of the method that I teach in the challenge guidebook. All right. You get to choose and create the foods that'll work for you. All right. And for your body type, along with your dietary restrictions, any that you may have. Now, the goal of the challenge is to start incorporating a predominantly whole food, plant-based diet, focusing on minimally processed foods, all right? And you're specifically focusing on plants. Bottom line, when it comes to diet, with such an overwhelming amount of research articles and books after books arguing and advising you, it's like, which diet's best for you? I'm sure you've gone through this. Like, here's the keto diet. No, here's the paleo diet. Go to the vegan diet, gluten-free diet. I mean, just to name a few, it can really be overwhelming, and you don't know where to go. But I will tell you this, with all those different diets, the one thing that all science, all right, and evidence points to is that a diet emphasizing on fresh, whole food ingredients and minimizing processed foods along with animal products is by far unrivaled for all wellness and longevity, right? That is the way to go. All of those diets will agree on that. So if you're eating meat during the challenge and you want to keep eating meat, go ahead, all right? But if you want to eat more plants and you want to get away from that, more plant power to you, all right? Okay, next question that I get. How much exercise will I have to do? And do I need a gym membership? Okay, so no, joining a gym for the challenge is not required. I do believe it would be very beneficial for you, or even if this is all completely new to you, picking up a pair of dumbbells. Fantastic. Get a yoga mat. All right. Have something to utilize at your house. You should expect, yes, you're going to be moving. You should expect to start incorporating daily exercise into your life consistently throughout the challenge. All right. So simply choose what works best for you. And I discussed this in the challenge guidebook. All right. So for cardio for this challenge, we recommend 45 minutes of planned walking every day. So that's 10,000 steps, or 10,000 steps per day. So yes, you are going to have to start moving, and get excited about that. Your body is going to thank you for that. Okay, next question. How is the challenge guidebook different from the IKS Coursebook? All right, well, as I mentioned earlier, the I Kick Sugar 100-page course book, okay, it teaches you to build that foundation so you're ready and wanting to declare your sugar freedom. Now, the course book is to be used in conjunction, all right, along with the 90-day challenge guidebook, right? And I want you to know the audiobook, if you just have the audiobook, it will not do for this challenge. You do need the course book, right? You need to print out the course book. It's not mandatory to print out the guidebook, but I certainly recommend it. But print out that course book because you're going to be reading through it. Unlike the audiobook where you're listening to it, reading through the course book, you're going to be highlighting things, taking notes. There's some magic that happens when you are reading and you're putting pen to paper. All right, now once you declare your sugar freedom, that sugar day, you're going to become an expert in the micro, not macro, the micronutrient sugar. All right, but that's only one facet of food I want you to get. Now in the challenge guidebook, all right, you're going to be learning how to shred fat, as I talked about, and lose weight. And most of us only learned to lose weight, if you were like me, in the 80s by cutting calories, all right? But that's the old diet system, and it doesn't work, all right? We've all tried that. And it requires, why it doesn't work is it because it requires willpower, because not all calories are created equal. Really want you to get that. All right, sure, you can, and I have, and I'm sure you have lost weight, eating, restricting your calories and having, let's say, 1,200 calories a day. But you can't sustain that, all right? If you are getting those 1,200 calories from ultra-processed foods, it's impossible. If you're living on Doritos and diet sodas, you are creating nutrient deficiencies in your body, and it's leaving your body starving, all right, for more. And that is actually what is setting off those sugar cravings. So you're going to be relying on willpower to power you through. And you see what eventually happens is that muscle, just like any muscle, it's going to wear out and it ends up failing. And then you fall off that diet wagon. All right. So to never have to rely on willpower again, I am going to teach you in the challenge guidebook about macronutrients. All right. And that's what makes up those calories. All right. It's what you're putting on that plate that matters. All right. So you're going to learn about your proteins. You're going to learn about fats, carbohydrates, fiber, and what important roles that all of them play, all right, to balance your metabolic health, because they're all crucial. Right. So you see, Once you learn the importance of these macronutrients, you're going to then be able to create meals that are not only nutrient rich and nutrient dense, so that way you can put more food on your plate and eat more, leaving you satiated, feeling fuller, being able to kick those cravings to the curb. I mean, I've had women throughout the challenge, like last year, the time before, where they're like, I can't even eat all my calories. I'm so full. It's like, and I have to eat another meal now because they are eating real whole food. And guess what? Whole food has amazing fiber that works best with your body. That's going to fill you up and satiate you. All right. Last question that I want to answer before we get to the live chat box. I already see that there's some questions coming in, so that's awesome. Hopefully we're answering a bunch already for you, ladies. This question is quite interesting. The question that we got it last year. We're getting it again this year. We're like, maybe we need to talk about it again. And the question is, people are asking, how hard is the challenge? They're a little scared of that. It's true. Seriously, that is the question that I get. I still don't believe it personally because the question here is, I know so many of you are scared, and it's going to be hard, and that's what's really stopping you from registering right now. But I want to get really real with you here for a minute on this, because the bottom line is that if any of you are asking that question, I would invite you to see that you're stuck in life, maybe stuck where you are right now because you're asking the wrong question. Tony Robbins talks about that, asking yourself the right questions versus the wrong questions. If you ask the wrong questions, you're going to get the wrong answers. All right. I'm sorry, but here is the truth. All right. I just want you to take a moment and examine, if you would, your current life right now and get really real with yourself. All right. If you are asking or thinking, is this challenge going to be hard? Or you're scared, maybe, I've got news for you. All right. If I had to guess, you are already living hard. All right. You want to know what hard is? Hard is sitting where you're at right now. That is hard. Take a look at that. Feeling those aches and pains and the inflammation, we see it every day in the Facebook groups. All right. Feeling that every day, that's hard. All right. How about being out of breath from just one flight of stairs in your own home? That's hard. Right. Managing several different medications, and the awful side effects from those, that is hard. I give it to you. That's hard. How about going to one doctor appointment after another doctor appointment, scheduling all that, paying the copays? That's hard. Being stuck daily in those negative thought patterns, boy, did I struggle with that. That is what hard is. I was living hard. Not being able to get down on the floor, play with your kids or maybe your grandkids without feeling those aches and pains, or you just can't even get down at all. That is what hard is. So ask yourself the question, will committing yourself daily to practice self-discipline be hard? Yes, it will. All right, I'm not going to lie, but you already know how to handle hard. All right, you are a lot stronger, all of you that have showed up here, all of you that are watching this replay later, you are a lot stronger. I want you to get that than you think that you are, right? This is just a better hard, all right? That it's going to pay out in dividends for you, bringing you health and happiness instead of the hard living that you are now that's bringing you pain and discomfort and unhappiness. So it's your choice. You choose your hard. Right? Remember, I want you to remember this, the safest path brings the least reward, right? So I want to invite you to stop being afraid, right, of what could go wrong. And I want you to start focusing and believing on what could go right? Change your focus. Optimal health, right? It isn't about being great am perfect all the time. I mean, God knows, and I say this to my masterclass students all the time, I am not perfect, right? Don't put me on this pedestal. I tell you all the time, ladies, how I am still working. I am still working on perfecting my growth every day. And every day isn't perfect. Some days I don't make it to the gym when I say I'm going to. So, it's about a journey, and it's about consistency, because more often than not, I make it to the gym more days than I don't that week. So even if I didn't go the full 6 days that I wanted to, if I made it 4 or 5, that's more often than not. And that's consistency, and that's what we are working on in the 90-day challenge. Is that I want you to get that your biggest fears actually carry you your greatest opportunities for personal growth. So start looking at your fears differently, right? Your fears and how you face them will bring out the best in you. And that's what this challenge is designed to do. All right. So if you're scared to join the challenge or do this challenge, guess what? That's a good thing. Yay. Because if something doesn't scare you, if something doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. In life, you've got 2 choices, right? You can either step forward, expose yourself to the work, to risk, and evolve by kicking sugar and joining this challenge, or you can play it safe and small and stay hiding out in the shadows, keep looking at my emails, and be where you are next year, see those winners this spring, and wish that was you. All right. It is your choice. And by not choosing, you've made a choice. You will be making a choice. So your health, your happiness aren't going to change on their own, right? If you're miserable, like you say you are, like we get so many emails of women telling us that after they've watched my workshop or they've seen my ad on Facebook, before they even buy an audiobook, they will share their story telling their misery. And if you're miserable like you say you are, then I am going to tell you that it is time to get to work, right? No, it is not going to be easy. But great things never are. I think my life is amazing, and it's not easy. I have to work at it every day. But there was a time, like I said, when I was living hard before, not doing this. So I am choosing my hard now, and it's much more satisfying. And they say that you never start from your comfort zone. You don't. Great things never start there, right? You've got to get out of that comfort zone of yours. So if you want to be someone that you have never been before, right, then you need to do something that you have never done before. Scary, right? Wrong. Okay, you know what's scary? Really scary and painful and miserable is being trapped in that perpetual cycle of physical discomfort and pain and unhappiness. I know, because I've been there. I've talked to other women who've been in the same position. And I'm guessing you are too, because you're here today, looking at yourself in the mirror each day and not liking that reflection that you like back, staring at the mirror. I've done that too many years and no more. Now I can look at myself and love myself and see beauty inside and out. Okay, because staring back and seeing that and thinking that's what's scary. Because at the end of the day, it is you and you alone. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and be content with the choices that you've made, then that is all. I promise you, that is all that matters. My wish for you is that you all would believe in yourself the way that I believe in you. I want you to believe in everything that you are and understand that within you, there is something greater than any obstacle that you will ever face. Okay, so I am going to end with this question, with that in mind, and remind you, have faith in your abilities. It's so important that you do that. Work hard and never give up. All right. There is nothing that each and every one of you can accomplish. And that includes doing this challenge. All right. And kicking sugar and hell, winning from the $1,000 that I am personally giving away. Who wouldn't like to win $500 or $250 or another $250? Okay. Believe in yourself. That's what I asked for. So I hope you truly get that message. Okay, I see a lot as I'm talking away here going on. I'm fired up. I see a lot of questions coming in, I believe, Dawn. So, Dawn, why don't you jump on with me? We're going to open up some questions here live that Dawn has been keeping track of. If you think of any others, you ladies are more than also to post some more as well. What have we got, Dawn? Have we got some questions here?
We do. Okay, so the first question is, what exactly is the challenge live pass that I saw on the sale?
Yes. Okay. So the Challenge Live Pass is an extra $15. So that's nothing, ladies. And that gets you 3 live calls with me each month. So we have the first, see if I'm getting this right, Dawn. The first is the kickoff call that we've got. Then we've got the midway motivation call. So the kickoff call is in January to get you all revved up. Hopefully, I'm getting you revved up to register today. And then I'm going to rev you up to get moving, get that button gear, all right, in January at the beginning. And then we've got the midway motivation, right? Because we're in the middle of that. We don't want to be slacking. We're going through this whole journey with you. And that's the midway motivation call. And then the last call is the final stretch, all right, to make sure that you ladies all make it across that finish line at the end there, right? We're leaving no woman left behind on this challenge. And those calls, I put my heart and soul into them. Hopefully you've seen a little of it today, where I am really going to boost you up and get you motivated. But we're also going to be there to support you, ask questions, because throughout you might have questions that you want answered face to face. And so you'll be able to submit those questions if you've purchased the Live Pass for $15. You'll be able to submit a question before the call and then jump on the call, and Dawn and I will answer that call at the end. I'll answer that question for you at the end of that call. So it's a great way to keep you going throughout. So if any of you are joining the challenge or you've joined the challenge already and you haven't picked up the Live Pass calls, hello, go pick them up. Real important, as I said, $15. You can grab the link in the back of the challenge guidebook is the last page where it has all the different products. If you missed that challenge pass, you can click it right there and purchase it there, or it will be available at checkout when you're registering today for the challenge. All right, great question. What else do we have?
Okay, you answered the following question already. How can I get it? I'm in the challenge, but I didn't get it. Do I have to wait until the challenge starts to get it? So no. So it's all the way in the back of the guidebook. You will be able to, if you're digitally looking at the guidebook, you'll be able to click on it and it'll immediately take you to the checkout page. If for some reason you're struggling with that, just email me at support@iksugar.com and I'll be happy to help.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. I can't exercise because I have surgery scheduled during the challenge. Is this the right challenge for me?
Great question. Yes. I mean, I suppose it depends on what your surgery is, but I've seen people with all kinds of different surgeries. We've had a lot of foot surgeries in this group that we've had here, and some hip surgeries too, but a lot of foot surgeries where they are in a boot, they're in a cast, they are laid up in bed in a chair for weeks and weeks, and they've joined the challenge and they've lost weight and made progress. And the reason why is a couple things why you can still do this. First of all, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, go check out your ambassador, Amy Friend, who is our fitness mentor, motivator, ambassador, who even shows on the videos on the IKS YouTube channel. She's got videos and a video showing where she even had foot surgery years ago, and she was in a cast and she's still at the gym working out. So it is possible. We had Peggy from last year. She's on our challenge website. So if you go to the website to register, you'll even see Peggy and her amazing transformation. And she was in a boot or a cast for, my goodness, I want to say like the first 6 weeks, maybe it was, of the challenge. And you know what she was doing? She was doing chair exercises. Nothing stopping you from getting dumbbells, moving, getting your heart rate up. You can run in a chair, ladies. It is possible. Let me tell you, there's no excuse. It can be done. And that's going to help your recovery even more also. Even our other ambassador, Melissa, does a seated chair showing you some positions you can do, yoga chair exercises. So there are different things you can do, without doubt, again, depending on what your surgery is, but there's a way around it. And if it was something that was keeping you laid up, you're flat on your back, maybe you had abdominal surgery and you're laying in bed and there isn't much you could do. Well, one, you still could do your arms. Okay. But two, you're focusing then on your diet, right? And you're focusing on the other work that needs to be done, the mindset. So you definitely can make change there right now. You might not be able to do it all 100%, but you can put in your 100% without doubt.
Right. I have the audiobook, but where do I find the course book?
Yes. Well, I don't really just sell just the course book. You have to be if you're part of the masterclass program, the 100-page course book comes with that. If you do go to the main website, ikicksugar.com, I don't promote it, but it's there on the shop button. You can purchase the 100-page course book. It's $89. Little secret, if you join the challenge, we're giving away a special challenge price for that book. So this is a way for you to get the I Kick Sugar course book, which is regularly $89, and you get it for $29. So when you're registering today for the challenge, there's a little box underneath saying, if you don't have your challenge guidebook, if you only have the audiobook, check, I need the challenge guidebook. It's an extra $29, an amazing offer.
Let me clarify. It's the IKS Coursebook, not the challenge guidebook. Challenge guidebook is automatic with the challenge,
yes.
The course book. And if for some reason you already purchased the challenge and you missed pushing that button, then email me at support@ikicksugar.com and I can help you get that taken care of at the challenge price as long as you do have the challenge purchase.
And to go on top of that, Dawn, again, if they've already registered for the challenge and you haven't, you were a little confused and you didn't pick up I'm getting myself tongue twisted here. The guidebook, right? Not the guidebook, the 100-page course book, right? The actual I Kick Sugar course that you need to get started with. That's also available at the $29 challenge price, just for the challengers, only for challenge people have the access to this link inside the challenge guidebook on that last page, like where the live calls are. You could also get the shopping cart there as well. All right. Excellent questions.
Yeah. Okay. I know you will be guiding us on macros and calories throughout the challenge. Will that work if I'm following a keto diet to keep my A1C down?
I don't see why not. You should already, if you're following the keto diet, I don't know what you're following. If you've followed one and you have learned the principles of a keto diet, then you understand a lot about macros already. Now, there's a lot of people out there that I know, some in the group that were on a keto diet that started the challenge, that just joined a keto diet, like that was given to them. They knew nothing about macronutrients. They were just told, eat this and, don't eat this, or have this high fat and, have some high protein and have, like barely any carbs. So you can plug in your macros that are currently working for you on the keto diet. If it's having you already shred fat and lose weight and you like the higher fat versus, maybe more middle carbs, we're doing a high protein diet on this diet with, minimal carbs, a good amount of carbs to keep you going. And on the lower fat side, the fat is lower. So it's not quite like keto. But it's not a high carb diet either, where then you've got like really low carbs, excuse me, low fat. So you can, as I said, there's no right or wrong. If you are like clueless about keto and what you're actually doing and you're following the diet blindly, then this challenge guidebook and the challenge is just going to empower you and inform you more to understand nutrition and your macronutrients so you can make a better decision for you. But if it's working and your A1C is coming down, more power to you, without doubt.
Okay. Now, Susan, who's been in our community for a while, she says, I've been following the IKS sugar process since August 2nd. By the way, I'm down 40 pounds, so congratulations, Susan.
Wait, was that
Does it
4
make
or 40?
40
40.
pounds, 40.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome, Susan.
This is Susan Hart, by the way.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
does it make sense for me to do the challenge?
Does it make sense for you to do the challenge? Well, are you missing right now? Are you wanting to keep that momentum going? I suppose, have you felt like it's kind of lagging a little bit? I mean, the other thing that we didn't talk about with the challenge is community, right? You're going to be seeing the community in the main Facebook group, on the live calls, all this excitement, and that keeps the accountability. There's also buddies. So would you like a buddy, Susan? You could be paired up with a bunny, a bunny, not a bunny rabbit, a buddy, a buddy. Boy, am I twisting my words today. So you'll have that as well with it. And, you know, so there's the camaraderie, there's the sense of community, there's the goal setting, you know, it's nice to have that goal. Would you like the opportunity to win some money? If you have more weight to lose and you're already losing it, would you like to join the challenge to have the opportunity to really show off that transformation of yours and win it? You know, so that's your call. Again, all of you who know me, who have worked with me, I'm not saying you have to do it this way, right? I haven't been that way in the course. I'm not that way in the challenge. I give some strict guidelines with love, and share what's worked for me and so many other women. Follow that. And if you need to tweak it a little bit, if something's working for you, then tweak it and keep what's working for you is the bottom line. Hopefully that answered that question for you, Susan. And congratulations, 40 pounds.
Thank you so much. Yes, it did answer the question. I did sign up already. And yes, I would like a buddy. So I don't know how you find one, but I don't want a buddy.
Do you want to answer that?
Absolutely. The way it works is once you get your challenge guidebook and all the emails, first off, you just get an initial email right now. When we hit the challenge, you will be getting multiple emails to get you started so you know what you're doing. But you will have to do a couple of things to be eligible to be a winner. And one of those things is you need to fill out a registration form, which is totally separate than purchasing the challenge. So some people were confused about that. It's totally separate. And you will have to do your starting pictures and submissions and then your final submissions and, you know, those type of things. But in the registration form, you can choose whether or not you want to have a buddy. And then there's specific questions asking, where are you located in the world? So I can try and match people up. That might work. I personally match every single buddy. So just kind of keep that in mind that I may not know you. So I'm going to do the best I can based on, you know, what you put in, where you living, you know, things like that. So that way, hopefully, at least you're in the same time zone, so you can have that connection. I will say we've had some amazing pairs come out of these challenges with the accountability buddies, and they're still friends, even from the first year. They're still friends today, and we've seen each other in person, and have just been supportive not only in the challenge but in other areas of their lives too. So you get that opportunity. You just have to fill out the form properly.
Yes.
So does that help?
Woohoo.
Right.
I'm curious, who can, before you go to the next question, who's already joined the challenge? Can you put in the chat box? I have. I'm just curious, who we have that's already there and just getting more informed. I love ladies like this. And one of the things we could even mention right now, Dawn, is the challenge Once you've registered, signed up, I should say, signed up and registered for the challenge, and you get your initial email, your welcome email, and all of that stuff. Our official emails will begin on the 1st, January 1st, and you'll start getting a lot of them. So be sure you mark our email so you don't miss any of those. But that is when on January 1st that we will open up the official registration portal. So if you're in your guidebook right now and you click, the registration, it will show that it's closed. All right. Because we don't want you putting your before pictures in now. All right. That's kind of cheating. It's not time yet. All right. You got to do those right before the 1st there. All right. We want to see you then, before then. So you can submit that on the 1st. All of that will be open for you. So hopefully that answered or gave a little more insight into that also, because we were getting people trying to submit already. Super excited. So yeah, it looks like we've got, oh, me, I have, wonderful. I love
There's
it. So
quite a
excited.
few.
Yes, great. All right, ladies. What other questions?
So, okay, on the lines of submissions, some people have been concerned because they're kind of tech talent. So I'm going to do something different this year. I'm adding an extra piece. I'm going to do a little training on how to actually take your picture and get it to us, because it's not the type of thing that you just email me or text me. It goes into a form. Otherwise, I would be pulling my hair out trying to figure out who goes where. So it's a simple process. The only thing you do need to do is the computer works best, quite honestly. Google sometimes works on phones, sometimes does not for their forms. So with that in mind, on the computer, but I will walk you through that. And if you struggle, we will help you. So don't worry about that. Don't let technology be your downfall and say, I'm not doing it, because we will work with
Right.
you. Okay. So we have a couple more questions. You said that food isn't introduced until module 9, but yet the challenge is all about food. I'm not sure I'm understanding.
Sure. So again, as I mentioned, this is how this challenge is different than any other diet challenge that you sign up for the new year, where they go straight into, hey, go on willpower and, kick sugar or start losing weight. All right. That is not what the only focus of this challenge is about. This challenge is about kicking sugar also. So this is kicking you in gear. If you've been sitting with the audiobook all this time, or you've got the course book, or you're in the master class and you haven't done anything yet, it's pushing you and getting you motivated to get through those modules. All right. So yes, if you haven't worked your modules yet and you're new and you haven't declared your day, I have blocked off the first 21 days of this challenge for you not to stress about the food. All right. Keep eating the sugar on January 1st if you want. All right, just like I talked about at the beginning of this call, and focus on getting to the root of your sugar addiction to declare your day. So you're not saying I can't. It's not that you shouldn't because I've joined this challenge. It's that you don't eat sugar. All right, don't worry about anybody else. This challenge is you versus you. You will have plenty of time. I promise you, the next 66 days, if you're just starting out with me, to then focus on the food when you get to module 9, and you declare your day and you start cleaning out your fridge and your cupboards. And I instruct you how to do that. And I'm telling you now to go through the detox, and you go through the detox, and now you start working on your macros and you start really focusing on your food and your exercise, all of that. That is what the second half phase essentially of the challenge is. All right. So that is what you're going to work on. So if you're new and you haven't done the course yet, and you've just been sitting there too, staring at that purchase that you made with me, this is the time. Yes, get the challenge. All right, it's going to get your butt in gear to do the modules, to get through them. You can get through them if you pace yourself out. You could do 2, 3+ modules a week. You know what? You can even start now. Okay, if you get it today, you don't have to wait to January 1st to work through the I Kick Sugar course. All right, but I'm allowing those days. That's why I've made the whole challenge 90 days. That's why it's not a 30-day weight loss or a 60-day weight loss. I purposely am doing 90 days to give you enough time, depending on where you're coming in the program, in the course, to have that ample time. All right, hopefully that answered that question.
Okay. This one is, if I purchase the challenge and the course book, is there something else I actually need to purchase for the I Kick Sugar Masterclass?
Sure. So the master class is separate. Okay. So a lot of you ladies have come in from my Sugar Sleuth toolkit, my free toolkit where you're learning where sugar is hiding. Some of you come in and you've watched, my 2-hour workshop on the 3 secrets to kick sugar, where I also am sharing with you the masterclass program and explaining that. If you haven't gone through that and you're more curious about the masterclass, you can start there with the masterclass. The masterclass program is much more in depth than just the audiobook and the course book. Okay, so to be clear, the audiobook and course book are identical. All right, one is written 100 pages, and then I read that and turned it into an audiobook, just like any other audiobook. You buy the books, at the Amazon, and then you can get the audiobook and listen to it. That's all it is. Women even have a hard time sometimes with just the audiobook, because as you know, if you've gone through it, I have those tasks, those 44 tasks, and they're hustling to jot them all down. You're having to write them all down. It's so much easier to have the printed PDF, format, so that way you can see what the tasks are and you can check them off and you can highlight things. All right. So that's the difference between the audiobook and the course book and the Sugar Sleuth. Now, the masterclass program is designed to do over 8 weeks, but it's when you join the masterclass, it is lifetime access to this portal on your internet. So on your computer, on your phone, you can log in. You have your own private login, and you see all of the 10 modules. You also get the course book, that 100-page course book with it. But you're also getting extra tutorials and coaching videos and lessons from me where I really dive deeper. It's on a deeper level. Okay. It's a master class, right? Difference between a bachelor's and a master's, and maybe this is the PhD, the challenge, right? The next step after you kick sugar. To where we're diving deep and understanding, and I'm really getting you to get what we're teaching in those 10 modules. So if you've ever been struggling, if you've been with me for a while and you've gone through the course book and the audiobook and you're still struggling, or you're not grasping the material, masterclass is fantastic. We have our own private masterclass Facebook group community that is like hopping. I mean, it is so busy and active in there every day. And we also have live coaching calls monthly where I am on there with you right now, where you're live. I can see you. We're talking back and forth. This isn't me sharing a lecture to you. We're actually interacting, and I'm supporting you and at questions and accountability and hearing people's trials and tribulations, all of that coaching. It brings it to life. There's a lot more accountability and support in the masterclass program. Doesn't matter though where you're starting for this challenge, whether you have the masterclass or you have the audiobook, the Sugar Sleuth, or you already maybe purchased the course book long ago, the 100-page course book. This challenge is for you if you're looking to still really get solid on kicking sugar, or maybe you've kicked sugar and you're just ready to now learn about macronutrients and shred some fat, really understand more in depth. You like my teachings, you like my teaching style, and to learn about how to create a nutrient-rich diet that's going to sustain you to lose weight, all right, and to get healthy, help your metabolic health. So hopefully that answered that.
Yes. And I have to say, in the chat box, many of our masterclass students are raving on how masterclass is just life-changing with the support from a loving community. It's 100% life-changing. Absolutely love the masterclass. So yeah,
I love
our girls,
my
we
masterclass
love
ladies. Yeah. Yeah. It's the only place that you will find me, by the way, where I guarantee one-on-one coaching and coaching with you and getting your questions answered. The main Facebook group community is designed for people coming in. If they just happen to have my audiobook, they can come into the community. I'm not guaranteeing all my ambassadors, my team support is going to be there to answer your questions. Other women in the group that have been there who have kicked sugar will answer questions for you. I chime in from time to time, but it's not guaranteed like it is in the master class. So that is also a distinction. However, when you do join this challenge, okay? When you join the challenge again and you grab those live passes, you're going to get to see me live, you know, 3 times throughout the challenge. And the main Facebook group is predominantly where women are going to be posting their challenge journey, okay, in that Facebook group. And I and all the ambassadors will be in there cheering you ladies on and answering any questions. I won't leave a challenge question untalked about in there. That is for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think that is all of our questions from today.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap then. I mean, Dawn, if you could place the link for women right now to register and just be clear on where they are registering for this challenge. I also want to let you know, and also put in, Dawn, the promo code. All right. We've had promo code holiday10 that has been going for a little while. That gives you $10 off registration. So it's regularly $127. We've been having it marked down, the challenge registration, to $97. And women have been joining with this $10 promo code, bringing it down to $87, just $87, ladies. Okay. And then you can grab the challenge, the IKS Coursebook for $29, and you can get the $15 live pass for those live pass calls. But I want to make clear, do this now. All right. Take action today. What does Nike say? Just do it. Because this $10 promo code, to knock it down to just $87, that's going to expire tomorrow night, Sunday at midnight. All right. So don't wait. Agreed? Don't wait, Dawn, right?
I want to also say that's less than $1 a day for the entire challenge.
What was
And
I thinking?
you get to keep the IKS Sugar course and the guidebook forever. You know, print it off and keep it. We ask you to print it off and keep it as you work through it. So you'll have that information forever. So 90 days of the accountability piece, the joining us, and the live coaching if you join the live passes, which I think is well worth more than the $15. But do it before you get caught up in the craziness of this next week with Christmas coming up next week. That's why the cutoff is on Sunday. Because we know if we do it any further into the week, you're going to get caught up in the busyness of trying to get everything done for Christmas, because there's a lot happening. I know in my house there's a lot happening, so I'm sure it is for you too. So we want to make sure you take care of yourself as you are getting ready to take care of everybody else for this season.
Yes, yes. Good advice. You're right. Hustle and bustle for sure taking place this next week. So get it off your checklist, get it done, register now when you get off the call pronto, and you can feel good knowing you've got a game plan for next year. And again, you can get started now on the course book. You can start going through. And if you're already a masterclass student and you're doing the challenge, reread the modules. There's nothing wrong. Plug in your audiobook. You also get that with the masterclass, the audiobook. So just start listening to me. Make me your best friend for this last week about learning everything sugar.
And I want to reiterate 2 quick things. Number one, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate. Reach out to us at support@iksugar.com. I'll be happy to get the answer to you. And if for some reason I don't know it, I'll get Joyce on it. Number 2, don't be scared over the thought of, I'm starting the IKS Sugar course book before Christmas when we're a week away from Christmas. What about all of the sugary goodness that I'm making with my family? Remember, when you first start the IKS Sugar course, we ask you not to change your food or drink. So you can continue to enjoy that sugary stuff with your family that you made. It's not going to make a difference in your progress. It's just going to get you ahead of the game, and you're going to get awareness. And that's the key of this beginning part of the IKS Sugar journey.
That is such a good point.
Talking.
It's actually a perfect time, because it's really going to let you look at your party gluttonous ways, right? And you'll be like, whoa. And you'll have to like track, take a day and track how much sugar you actually ate at a party. And you'll be like, whoa. And that'll be ammo for when it's time to declare your day on module 9. So it's a perfect time. That's such a great point, Dawn. So thank you for saying that. Ladies, all of you, thank you for sharing your Saturday morning with Dawn and I. We both hope you have a great rest of your day and weekend. We look forward to seeing your name on the registered list and cheer you on throughout this. We are rooting for you in the new year, and I look forward to seeing you on the live calls also next year. So love you, ladies. Have a wonderful, healthy, happy holiday. Take care. Bye-bye.